Chapter 30, Press Conference. Jean's words moved Alexander a little. He did not expect Jean to be so broad-minded at such a critical moment. Alexander let Jean make her choice because he wanted to give himself a way out. Nonetheless, no matter her choice, in the end, she would have to follow his way and face the reporters together with Thegis to resolve this matter. Jean is much more mature than before, Alexander thought. At that moment, Jennifer was also deep in thought about Jean's actions today. Jean was not as simple as she thought. Originally, Jennifer had also come to see Jean make a fool out of herself and to see how she would be humiliated by the Locks. Who knew, the plot was reversed. The Locks knelt and apologized to Jean instead, and Jean even brought a huge amount of benefits to the Lawrences. As such, would Alexander and Jonathan have no choice but to change their opinion of Jean? Jennifer secretly clenched her teeth. She could not allow Jean to continue to act like this. This woman is going to be a disaster. She thought. Alex, since Jean has agreed. Damien opened his mouth and asked. Alexander came back to his senses and said, since Jean has agreed, I believe that Thegis has also learned his lesson. This matter will be done according to Jean's instructions. What he said was rather grandiose, but in reality, it was only because of benefits. Since that's the case, let's take advantage of the fact that the matter hasn't escalated. Let's resolve it as soon as possible, Damien said. I want to convene a press conference in the afternoon. That urgent? Alexander asked. We can't delay this matter. If it drags on for too long, I don't know how the news will spread. Moreover, the collaboration with Muck is imminent, so I want to settle this as soon as possible. I don't want other matters to affect the progress of my negotiations. It's just that I have something to do in the afternoon. To tell you the truth, the Swans are coming to talk about Jasmine and Eden's marriage in the afternoon. I have to be there. That's fine. Jean and Thegis will go to meet the reporters in the afternoon. We don't need to accompany them. The young ones can settle their matters by themselves. We shouldn't get involved. That's true. Once we get involved, things will change. Perhaps the media will insist that we're doing it for profit or something. You don't have to worry about other things. Just leave it to me, Damien said. You should prepare for your daughter's wedding with the Swans. That's the most important matter for you. Once you become in-laws of the Swans, the Locks will also benefit from it. Look what you're saying, Alexander said humbly but looked proud. The two of them complimented each other again. Alexander and Jennifer had lunch at the Locke family's residence and left in a hurry. Jean and George stayed. The Locks hired a public relations team to prepare a response plan for them. At 4 p.m., Jean brought George along with Thegis and went to a private banquet hall of the Locks for the press conference. Before the press conference began, Jean gave Monica a call. The moment the call was connected, a loud voice came from the other end. Jean, why didn't you pick up my call? Jean rubbed her ear. It was deafening. Jean knew Monica too well. She did not even need to think to know what Monica was going to say. Besides, it was not suitable for her to talk to Monica at the Locke family's residence, so she put her phone on vibration and let her call her as much as she wanted. At this moment, Jean was only calling Monica because she went to the toilet. She said, it wasn't convenient for me. Why, are the Lawrences threatening you? No. Tell me honestly, are you currently under house arrest by the Lawrences? Don't let your imagination run wild. I'm fine. I'm going to face the reporters together with Thegis now. What did you say? Monica shouted at the top of her lungs. Don't be agitated. It's not what you think. Jean did not explain because she could not explain it. She said, just drive to the entrance of the address I sent you and wait for me. I'm afraid that I won't have a car to leave later. What? Monica was confused. She felt as if her heart and lungs were exploding. When she saw the news of Thegis fooling around with some other woman outside, she fumed with rage. How could Jean be so indifferent? Jean did not say anything more and hung up the phone. She quickly sent the address to Monica and wrote a text message, wait for me here. Following that, she turned off her phone and walked out of the bathroom. When she walked out, Thegis was already waiting for her outside. His expression was extremely ugly. Due to the situation, he endured and did not throw a tantrum. It's about time, Thegis said coldly. Okay. Jean held George's hand and followed Thegis to the venue. George stayed at the entrance and waited for her. Jean and Thegis went in. Clicking sounds could be heard continuously. Thegis and Jean sat in the middle. Thegis said, I'm very grateful to the media for attending this press conference. First of all, I would like to express my deep apology for my personal misconduct that caused a negative impact on the public. As he spoke, Thaddeus stood up and bowed. He would first apologize to gain sympathy. Everything was arranged according to what the crisis public relations had arranged. Thaddeus sat down and continued, everything reported on the news is true. I've indeed done something to let Jean down. Although I was framed and drugged, what happened happened. A mistake is a mistake. I'll bear the responsibility for this mistake. Thaddeus secretly pinched his thigh, so his eyes turned red. He looked like he was very regretful. I only hope that Jean can give me a chance. I really love Jean. The first time I saw her, I fell in love with her. I've been looking forward to our wedding, and I also treat George as my own son. I never thought that I would make such a mistake. I really wanted to kill myself for a second. Thaddeus was trying to gain sympathy. The reporters looked at him. They did not sympathize with him, but they were not very harsh with him either. There was even a few seconds of awkwardness at the scene. A paid reporter hurriedly asked, "Second young Master Locke, did you cheat this time because you were drugged by the other party?" "Yes, I didn't expect her to treat me like that. She has always liked me, but I've told her clearly that I like Jean. I'm getting married, so I asked her not to pester me. Who knew, she threatened me by saying that she'd commit suicide. I didn't expect her to drug me when I went to find her. Right now, I regret that I was too kind toward her. I even suspect that all the bad things I did with her were her schemes to destroy the relationship between me and Jean." Thaddeus looked like he was in pain. "Ms. Lawrence, will you forgive Thaddeus?" The reporter looked at Jean. According to the script, she would forgive Thaddeus and even say many good things about him. However, she said, "I won't forgive him." She uttered those words strongly.